Hi everyone, my name is Jill and welcome to a new episode of Real Estate 101. Today we're going to talk about probably one of the taboo topics here in the Philippines, but I will still quickly share my insights about it because I think it's very timely that we are celebrating International Women's Month, which is March. It's not yet over. We still have time to relate topics. And for today, we're going to talk about Real Estate 101, how to handle indecent proposals in real estate. So where do we begin? First, of course, I'd like to remind you that being a woman is being liked most of the time. We are probably the most attractive beings ever existed here on earth, and proposals, whether good and the not so good ones, are very common. However, we don't normalize the indecent ones. We don't tolerate the bad ones. That's why we're discussing this topic right now. Indecent proposal is when your client is willing to negotiate further in your favor as a seller in exchange of something morally offensive on your part. But for me, my rule of thumb, it doesn't have to take physical touch or bold words or seducing gestures to be exchanged. Once I have felt the feeling of being unease or uncomfortable in presence of someone, that's the perfect time to call out or make an exit already. So I'm aware that this topic is very relatable to most of the young sales girls. However, I am also aware that this is a topic that most women would rather not talk about too, because I get it that there's a slight feeling of being ashamed to admit that somewhere along our journeys as women we get to be mistreated, and I totally get it. I know that it's quite personal. However, I also remember my younger self that as young sales girl, I would feel very demotivated and easily disaligned, or it can actually impair my vision or ruin my working dynamics whenever something like that happens. But in sales, I totally get it that some of the people gets to blur the lines, because as I have mentioned, the first task of an agent in a negotiation table is to work out to be liked, because nobody wants to purchase something of value to someone they don't like, right? However, it's not that clear. The message is not that clear to other people, especially when it's mixed up with their personal intention already. So I had fair shares of random experiences of something like that or indecent proposals, but I'm not here to discuss those. But what I want you to know is that surprisingly, indecent proposals doesn't have standard faces. They all come from different phases of people and different walks of life. And that is why I want you to know that you need to be very selective of who you do business with, because people like that who would make you really feel bad, they're everywhere. And if there's any slight hope in your part that you think you can turn tables and make them buy your product, forget it, drop it, because in the first place they are not really your buyers or your friends. They don't intend to help you. They don't intend to share their networks and refer you to other people. They're existing to distract you and to waste your time. Also, the moment you felt uncomfortable in presence of someone, I want you to know that you need to do action about it. You need to exit immediately. You need to make your way out ASAP, as soon as possible, because no one can do it for you. Our usual statement would be, my dad is overprotective about me, my brother, my kuya, my boyfriend. But girl, the most qualified person to be overprotective about you is you. Okay? So you don't risk any further of yourself being in the presence of those kind of people. And what do you do whenever this happens to you? I want you to know that you can keep calm and you can show them that you have took the power back. Because even if regardless of how awful they have done with you, once they have felt that you are mindful about what's going on, they will be the one to be shaken. And lastly, I want you to know that it's not your fault. It's not your skirt, girl. It's not your dress, your boobs, your butt, your makeup. It's not about you. It's really about them. Even if it happened, the more important thing is the conversations you have with yourself in your head. Make sure you don't talk down with yourself. Make sure to help yourself rebuild your confidence and your moral. Make sure you hang on to what you have been doing for the longest time. Not because this happens, it's already time to go. You can slow down and take a break, but make sure to hang on. If you are a young girl making her way out for your sales career, I would suggest that you always ask for assistance and help during client meeting presentation, especially in person. But even if it's just a Zoom or Skype meeting or Messenger video meeting or Google Meet, make sure you have someone to look after you. So to end this, I want you to know that you cannot really handle indecent proposals or subtle harassments. For me, you're too precious to even bother about it. However, you don't handle the situation, but you handle yourself. You get to manage yourself. And after that, you become a better person. Again, it's not about you, it's about them. And make sure to stay your ground and tell people about it, because whatever happens to you, make sure you have someone who's aware of what's going on. Also, if this is necessary, you make sure you file narrative report about particular client whom you think is already abusive of that, yung hindi mo na mapapalagpas, so that the client will be blacklisted on your management and hindi na siya mauulit sa ibang agents. By doing that, by reporting it officially or formally, you will help the situation stop. Hindi na siya mauulit sa ibang tao. So that's it. It's a beautiful world. And remember that not because you can tolerate something doesn't mean you have to accept it. No is a full statement, and you need to take care of yourself. You can say no for as many times as you would feel like in one day. You say no to whatever you feel that doesn't serve your truth. And this has been Jill, your prettiest girl in the room. See you on my next video. Bye!